Welcome to Abenaki Corporation. Today we're going to go over the assembly of our standard OC300-A Oil Boss. Now when you get this system, you get everything complete. The hoses are inside the container here. And what we're going to do is we're just going to start with the magnetic back plate. When you pull that unit out of the box, there's a little grip strip, we call it, that goes on the bottom edge inside on the back of the unit to help keep it from slipping. The magnets are pretty powerful, but sometimes some machines have finishes that resist the magnet contacts. The first thing you're going to do is clamp that level onto your machining center. The next thing you're going to want to do is take the oil boss itself and just hang it right on the holder, and it will sit like that. And this needs to be level. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to assemble the fitting and valve that holds the pump and float assembly hose. So that just threads on. Give that a little twist. And then you're going to take your pump and float assembly, and you have the hose that goes to the oil boss body goes off of the top, and off to the side the float head assembly goes into the tank. We'll just set that down for a second and I'll explain that a little more. So this just goes on the valve like so. And there's a little hose clamp that goes on this, but for today we're not going to worry about that. So when you put the pump and float assembly into the sump, you're going to want to make sure that the float is sitting just under the surface so that the coolant and oil layer can get sucked into the pump and into the body. And what you're going to look for is a little vortex action so you know that it's working properly. We'll set this back down. And the next thing we're going to want to do is attach our clean coolant return hose. And that just simply threads in right here. Give that a little twist. And here is the clean coolant hose itself. I'll just pop that on here. And you just tighten up the hose clamp. And that just runs right back into your coolant sump. And we do have two other valves that go onto the other side of the unit. The top one is your oil drain. When you get a buildup of tramp oils, you'll just turn this valve on and drain it into your collection container. And that goes on like so. And then we have one more on the bottom that you just thread on here. And this is to drain the tank itself in case you need to clean it out if it gets dirty with contaminants or debris. An important thing to remember when starting this unit is it does need to be primed with clean coolant prior to use. Otherwise, you're just going to get the mixing coolant and oil and everything's just going to cycle. It will eventually clean itself up, but you'll not notice any oil being collected on top like it's supposed to do.